You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Beyond the Gates fans, I have got your first ever weekly spoilers edition for the new CBS soap for Monday, March 3rd through Friday, March 7th. We're going to see whether or not this Dani gun thing is a fake out and more on Eva's secret daddy and mama drama. So it's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please subscribe. Let's get into it. So Friday had drama at the Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace moment. I predicted Dani might act out, but the gun and the shooting thing, to me, I'm not quite certain about. The thing is, Michelle Valjean wrote for more than a decade for Bold and the Beautiful, and they are terribly bad about Friday cliffhanger moments that when it comes back on Monday, it comes out that it is a fantasy sequence. They especially do this a lot with kisses and Nookie and things like that. So I am not just taking this with a grain of salt. I'm taking it with a whole block of salt. I understand that Dani opened that, what looked like a hat box or whatever it was from her closet. But remember, she was wearing a hat. So I would just be super surprised if she actually brought a gun. I think on Monday, and I may eat crow over this, but that we're going to see her sitting there glaring and it's imagining it all in her head. So we'll see. But Bill also tells Haley on Monday that she needs to persevere. And I'm sure that's with the collective hate they're getting off the residents of Fairmont Crest. I love that they all showed up in black and mourning, and Dani with her little veil on, like she's sitting at Bill's funeral instead of his wedding, because I'm sure she wishes it was, especially after the way he talked to her when she came and did that last minute pleading for him to not marry Haley. And Chelsea goes live. So I don't know if this is her streaming or if this is about the purse collection she's been talking about. She wants to do something different. Her, online, her influencer thing. She wants to get out from under Dani's thumb because she is being a bit suffocating. She's got that whole overbearing momager thing going, a stage mom thing. And I saw in the credits, by the way, that Abby Lee Miller, speaking of stage moms, Abby Lee Miller is supposed to have a cameo this season, and with Dani being such an over the top, mom like she is, I wonder if it's that's why we've got the dance moms lady on. I really like dance moms, and Abby is wild. Also, we've got Nurse Ashley and Andre working together to help a patient. If you remember on Friday, they got into the elevator with a very pregnant woman, and the elevator had an issue and looks like she is going to deliver right there. We'll see how that goes. Maybe they'll name the baby Westinghouse after the elevator. Leslie drops a secret about her daughter, Eva. Now, we saw this on Friday. Looks like Ted is her dad, and Nicole's husband has a kid that he hasn't told her about. We'll see if he even knows about it. And she was talking about her, mom not being her mom, but then based on what happened on Friday, the way she referred to her as mom and then said, Leslie, I don't think this dead mom exists. I think this is a ruse just to throw Nicole off the track. Tuesday, March 4th is season 1, episode 7. And we have Ashley bonding with Andre. Maybe doing that childbirth thing together leads to a little bit of sparks, because we know he has the hots for Ashley, even though Nicole said, don't do it. So we'll see. I don't think he's gonna hold back. And Ted even said, she's a nice girl. Don't get into this. She's not your type. The Duprees hold a press conference as a family. Now, in terms of this press conference, if indeed Dani did shoot off a gun, I don't think she's going to actually shoot anybody. If that is not a fantasy sequence and it's the real deal, maybe that's what this press conference is about. We'll see. We also, of course, have Martin being threatened by Bill again at the wedding reception. And so, maybe that's something that's leading into this. Something is going on with the congressman. And speaking of him, Smitty is questioning his hubby, Martin. And there was some stuff going on already where Smitty was talking on the phone to somebody and Martin was acting suspicious, but I think that's his own guilty conscience. I think that's Smitty talking to the person about the job that he wants. Meanwhile, Derek feels insecure in his relationship with Ashley, and I wonder if he picks up on the vibe between her and Andre. Wednesday, March 5th is season 1, episode 8, and Eva gets to meet Ted. Dr. Richardson, the male, is her dad. And you remember Dani was talking about how perfect Nicole's life is and how she's the only one who has her life blowing up. Well, Nicole's life is definitely about to be blown up. Meanwhile, Doug gives into temptation. This is realtor Vanessa's doctor husband. And I think I saw something about maybe he was flirting with Ashley, but then there's Andre flirting with her. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with Ashley. It looks like both Vanessa and her husband, Doug, are cheaters, which is very interesting. When he was talking about the trip they were planning, she said something about hot beach boys. So I wonder if we're going to have some really weird thing and they actually have an open marriage where they're both cool with whatever they're doing. Because she was engaged in that role play thing with that guy the other day at the bar, which was really weird. And speaking of that, Vanessa is flirting with Diego on Wednesday. Remember, he's the hunky personal trainer at the country club. And Jacob is feeling guilty. That's Naomi's hubby. Wonder what he did. And Kat is questioning Leslie about Laura. So Kat is Nicole's daughter. She lives in their guest house. She's spoiled. She's the one who's doing the handbag launch with Chelsea. And Leslie is the one that ran Laura off the road. Leslie was on the motorcycle, ran Laura's car off the road. So should be an interesting conversation. Thursday, March 6th is episode 9 of the current season. And Dani confronts Haley, who at this point is Mrs. Bill Hamilton. And I wonder if she's going to let her know just because she's got the ring on her finger, nothing has changed. No one will ever accept her. Chelsea has a moment with a friend's wife. That's kind of interesting. And Andre shows up to stir the pot on Derek and Ashley's double date night. And I wonder if that's them out with Naomi and Jacob again. Kat is suspicious of Eva, which is interesting because those two are actually half sisters, right? And Martin confronts Smitty. This may be the scene from the big promo we got where he's raging about his husband working outside the house and is upset that being his house husband isn't enough for him. Friday, March 7th, season 1, episode 10. We finally get to see John Lindstrom's first air date. If you're a GH fan, obviously you know him as Kevin and also as Ryan. He's playing casino owner Joey, and he is going to help out Doug, who of course is Vanessa's husband. I wonder if he's got a gambling problem or something. That'd be cool. Jacob makes a bold move to alleviate his guilt. We'll get to find out more about what he's done. And Eva solidifies her position with Ted, who of course is her secret daddy, and Leslie and Nicole's mutual bitterness boils over. So it seems like Nicole knows exactly who Leslie is. There was a funky little promo at the end of the show. It wasn't worded like a next week on. It was kind of interesting the way they're changing some of the things, you know, shaking up. Some of the things I like, some of the things I don't. I don't love the way they do FaceTime calls. I think those look really weird, but some other stuff I really like. I love the intro. I like the music. And this promo thing was kind of interesting. So the voiceover says that Senator Richardson or Congressman Richardson has a big secret, and he is telling his mom, Nicole, that she needs to be the first one to know. And he's talking to her at the country club. Andre and Dani are hooking up again, but then he's flirting with Ashley also. He's just kind of a man whore, I think, at this point. He's really hot, though. So, you know, if you got the goods. And somebody says it's time for payback. It's a man's voice, and Bill is glaring, so that may be his voice. It's hard to tell yet. Some of the soaps that I've been watching for years, I don't even have to look at the screen, and I know all the voices, and I'm still learning everybody's voices. So in promos like these, it's kind of hard to do just yet. I'm excited. I think it was a really good first week. You know, it's a new show. It's getting its feet under it, but I'm enjoying it. I look forward to the episodes. There's a lot of actors on there that I like. There's some newer people that I don't think really have their acting chops yet. You know, they spent some money on big talent, and then they kind of had to hire some people that didn't have much acting experience at all. And I think we're seeing that with them kind of, you know, learning their path. And I think they're going to be okay because they have a good directing team and a good writing team. So all I can say is I'm excited about week 2, and I hope everybody is watching Beyond the Gates.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.